Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So determine if this series will converge or if this series will diverge. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, as n heads towards infinity, this bubble here is just going to become, n to the power 3, because as n heads towards infinity, this this 8 here is going to be irrelevant. As n heads towards infinity, as n gets really, really, really big, and then when you come to add 8, this 8 here is going to be irrelevant in comparison to this number. So when you combine the two, you can just consider you can just look at this thing here. So as n heads towards infinity, you can consider this bubble as being n to the power 3. So you've got this thing here, and then you've got over this. So you can consider this as this. As n heads towards infinity, you can say that this thing here is similar to this thing here. You can say that this thing here is similar to this thing here. How is it that we can say that this is similar to this? Well, remember the definition of similar. When you get one thing, n to the power 3 plus 8, over the other thing, n to the power 3, as n heads towards infinity, as n starts from 1, as n heads towards infinity, it equals 1. So this thing here is similar to this. The point here is that this thing here is going to be similar to to n to the power 3. This thing here is similar to this thing here. So rewrite this as n gets bigger and bigger, as n heads towards infinity, we can consider this thing here as this. So now rather than looking at this complicated thing here, we would look at this simpler thing here, and then tidy this up. So when you square root something, when you square root this, you can imagine it as this to the power of a half. So that's this thing to the power of a half. And then x to the power of a, b here, that becomes a times b, that becomes a times b, that then gives you this. So once you get to this stage here, you're supposed to just be able to recognize that this thing here will converge. We've done this many times, so you should be able to recognize that. Because this is bigger than 1, the whole thing here will converge. This thing here will converge. So remember, 1 over x is this thing here. If you're looking at 1 over x, then it will diverge. But because we've got a number that's bigger than 1, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. It's going to be below. It's going to be below 1 over n. So this thing here is definitely going to converge. Well, you should be able to recognize this by now. Whenever you see this, as n heads towards infinity, the series will converge. Okay, so if this thing here converge, then this will also converge. If this thing here diverges and this thing here diverge, but as it happens, this thing here converge. So therefore, this thing here must also converge. Okay. So next one. Okay. So I might as well just tell you the answer here. So when you see something like this here, as n gets bigger and bigger and bigger, then this thing here it will be similar to this thing here. So consider this as n heads towards infinity. So now just look at this. We'll tidy this up. Square root of a square, that then becomes this, and then you can see. Well, when you get to this stage here, you should just be able to recognize that this thing here will diverge. 1 over n will diverge. We've done this many times. Well, if this thing here diverges, then therefore this thing here will also diverge. Okay.